Well, I am so excited to be here with Maria Brady, Director of Strategic Partnerships. The organization is Omaha by Design, and they've got this incredible event coming up. Maria, thank you so much for joining me today.
Andy, thank you so much for having us. We are thrilled to be hosting this event in just a few short days and really excited to share more about it.
Yeah. Well, let's just first talk about Omaha by Design. Just can you kind of give me a brief overview of what Omaha by Design is?
Yeah, of course, of course. So Omaha by Design is an urban design and policy nonprofit here in Omaha, as the name implies. We've been around for just a little over 2 decades, and really we operate as the people-centered urban design hub for the metro. So focus in on key projects relating to the built environment and really how the city we shape in turn shapes us. So we have some exciting programs in the affordable housing space, as well as in public murals and art, and a key focus on some pilot projects as well in the metro for multimodal transportation and things of that nature. So
Oh,
every day is a little different, but we get to partner with the city and a lot of really other wonderful entities here in Omaha to really talk about what Omaha is going to look like over the
yeah.
next few years.
Well, I have to tell you, I love the space you're in. That
You.
back, I mean, it's just beautiful and it's old and it's brick and yeah.
It
Where
is.
are you? And like, what's the location?
Yeah, so we are in the old Bemis Bag building, located in the heart of the old market. So 120-year-old floors that creak if I move my chair a little bit,
Wow.
but a beautiful space and really aligned with our mission too of keeping some of the old, mixing it in with the new.
Yeah. Well, let's dive in. Open Omaha. This is the second year. I'm so excited about this coming up. So what is open up? What is Open Omaha and what is the mission?
Yes, so Open Omaha is a metro-wide civic celebration that is an open house, so to speak. So this is our second year for the event, as you noted, but we actually took this concept from other cities, not only across the nation, but internationally.
Oh,
Some of those include like Minneapolis, Toronto, Chicago, so some bigger metros that will open up venues the same way that we are and invite the public to explore spaces and places that they may not normally have access to. Maybe there's a cost barrier, or maybe you just didn't know that it existed in your own backyard. And so the mission of this event really is to encourage people to connect and circulate within our metro and learn about some of the incredible opportunities and spaces that we have here.
yeah. How many well, before I go there,
Mhm.
let's talk about Open Omaha 2022.
Yes.
So what was the impact? I mean, what did you hear back? I mean, what happened during that
Oh
first
my goodness.
a year ago?
Yes, it was a whirlwind. So our first year, and in launching it, we had 52 venues geographically spread from Council Bluffs to Elkhorn, north to Florence, and south to
Wow.
Papillion. So really a metro-wide event, and the impact was phenomenal. We had over 6,000 unique visitations at the venues over that one weekend. We had over 100 volunteers help to serve as greeters. And within it, the impact that we've really heard is exactly what we were hoping for. People felt more connected to their community, whether they were a volunteer or an attendee. People found spaces that they'd never been to before, not only our venues, but then sometimes like a new coffee shop next to a venue that they'd never been to before. And then also some of our nonprofits and historic venues that we had last year were able to facilitate relationships that then benefited their mission. So whether that's finding more volunteers, garnering new donors. So really all to say the impact was way more than we anticipated and expected. And we're really excited to grow it this year.
Well, so how many venues did you have last year?
52,
And then how many do you have this year?
62.
Okay. So
Yes.
are some of them the same as last year?
Yeah, that's a great question. We have about 50-50.
Okay.
50% are returning venues, 50 are new. It's really hard to see all the venues in one weekend. I can
I was
attest as
gonna
an
say, yeah.
organizer.
Yep.
Yes, and so that's really the beauty of this event and what we've learned in planning it. There's no shortage of amazing places to showcase during this event. So we're able to keep some staples on and then add some new places year after year.
Yeah. And I'm glancing over here because I'm looking at your website, which I will say is omahabydesign.org. Open Omaha is, on the front page, and just so much great information. Um, but what can they expect? And I'll take it a step further.
Yeah.
Can you give them some like direction on how to navigate through the city with all of this?
Yes. I'll take that in two parts.
Yep.
Good questions within there. What can attendees expect? Attendees can expect something new and unique at every venue. And so you can learn more about what each venue is doing on our Open Omaha app. So I highly encourage those who want to attend this event to download it. Each include a venue description, and we'll talk briefly about how they're activating their space. But to go into more detail, some spaces, so Baird Holmes' office at the Woodman Tower is opened. So attendees can get up there in a private office that's usually very much close to the public and have incredible views of downtown Omaha. Get to see the city from new heights. The Squirrel Cage Jail over in Council Bluffs, attendees can go there, connect with the history, get into the museum for free, and sort of get a behind the scenes view of how that museum is operating. So all this to say is there's a lot of unique ways to experience these venues, and every single one is different. So some have architectural significance, some are historic in nature, and then we also have a wonderful collection of like work-life spaces, so offices, along with sacred spaces too, representing different belief systems we have in the metro. So it's really a choose your own adventure. Now, in terms of getting around to all these venues, again, we have a massive geographical coverage for this event this year.
Mhm.
So we have what we call walkable clusters. So there's some really great spots, especially North 24th Street, where you can park and walk between the venues, bike along the trails as well to get connected to them. And then you can also drive between different venues as well, or utilize the Orbit bus system or Metro buses, along with scooters. So really it's whatever works best for the venues that you want to navigate between. And I will say that on our website and our app, and then we have printed map guides as well, we include some transportation information on there as well.
Yeah. It's great. I'm just going to make a mention too in Midlands Business Journal, the issue that came out on the 21st of July. There's a 2-page spread, and there's a map there as well. The
Yes.
reason I'm bringing that up is because it's a great map. So, go ahead and head to your app and to the website, but it shows everything. Um,
Absolutely.
so we talked a little bit, so it's grown in year two, not just by the venues you can see. Were you surprised that 6,000 people kind of came out? And there's probably more than that, maybe. I mean, I don't know, but
Yeah. So it was 6,000 unique visitations. So those
okay.
are
Yeah.
people going in and out of the buildings that we had participating. And truthfully, a little bit surprised, but in the most wonderful way, where the Omaha by Design team was a team of 3 when we launched
Oh
this.
my
So we
goodness.
are a lean and mean team. And because of that, we really lean into our community partners and our venues. And so year one, we were more so just really excited to get this off the ground and then see what worked. And, did the Omaha community really adopt this event? When we started getting back the initial numbers, we were blown away. And not only was the over 6,000 visitations really exciting, but then the qualitative feedback that we received from people was unbelievable. Our team will do it again this year, but last year our team drove between each of the venues to check in during the event, say hello. And because of that, we got to speak to attendees, and some of the things that we heard, like I met a wonderful couple at the Brigant House over in Council Bluffs, which will be a venue again this year. It's a historic site. It's a house that was built for vaudeville performers, so individuals under 4 feet tall. And yet
Wow.
myself, who's 5'10", can also fit in there. So it's just this really unique space. And when I went to visit it, I met a couple from Omaha who had lived in Omaha for decades, and they'd never been to Council Bluffs.
Oh my God.
So
Yeah.
so fun to not only see the impact of the numbers, but then the stories as well of just that increased ability to feel like a tourist in your own town or to find a reason to go someplace that you may not normally have in your everyday route.
So we talked a little bit, we did talk about like how you can plan and you got the map and the different clusters. Um, and I know all this information's on your website,
Mhm.
but can you, but, and I want to talk about volunteering too, but just quickly, what are the hours?
Yes. So the hours for Saturday and Sunday, August 5th and 6th, are 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. each day. I will note that I highly encourage you to look at the map guide or the app because there are just a few venues with some altered hours
Okay.
within that. So some just a little shorter, but the majority are 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. each day.
And then let's talk, we've got a couple minutes left. Let's talk about volunteering. And like you said, you had over 100 volunteers or over last year. Do
Yes.
you still need some volunteers?
Oh, it's a great question. We always need volunteers. So, as I noted, we're a really small team here, and this event would not have been possible last year without our volunteers. It's certainly not possible without them this year. So, we're really pleased. We have over 40 more volunteers than last year. So, we've grown there too. But we could still use a few more helping hands. Our greeters are really ambassadors for the Metro. They serve as greeters at each of the venues. They welcome people in. And then they also help us track how many people come in as well. So they're really such a key part uh, to this event. And the volunteer shifts are 4 hours in length, not too long, but a good amount of time to spend in a new space, hopefully, volunteering alongside a friend or partner or someone that I randomly assign to you. But yes, we would still be very grateful for a few extra helping hands if anyone is interested.
So any last words, anything else you want to say before I let you go?
Uh, I would like to reiterate our gratitude for you and this coverage as well. One of the key pieces for Open Omaha is that it is so reflective of our community, and our team is continually blown away just by the support and excitement we've been receiving. So thank you guys so much for this opportunity and also for that spread. And I really hope that a lot of your viewers and readers come and join us next weekend and then also let us know how the experience is.
Absolutely. Well, I know I'm going to be looking at your app as soon as we get off of here, and I will be out at some of these venues. I'm again so
Oh,
excited. And we'll do some post-event coverage so as
I
well.
would love that.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you so much. And I hope that you're able to explore some fun spaces.
Yeah. And folks, thank you so much for joining us today. And again, August 5th and 6th, go to omahabydesign.org. There's lots of, I mean, there's all the information you need on the website. So, and yeah, let us know if you're going out or after you've been out. I would love to hear some feedback. So, thank you again. And thank you so much, Maria. Great conversation and appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Andy.
And folks, don't go away. We will be right back. Well, my friends, I'm excited to be here with Chris Mahaffey. He is the CEO and Scout Executive at the Mid-American Council Boy Scouts of America. Chris, so great to see you today.
It's always a pleasure to see you. Thanks for having me on this afternoon.
Yeah, you're welcome. Well, what's happening? I think it's been last time we talked was last year. So what's going on at the Boy Scouts?
Well, we're at the end of summer and we may have just experienced a lot of heat, but the 16th coolest summer on record for Nebraska has yielded a wonderful summer camp experience for us this summer. We've had over 2,500 people come to camp over 5 different weeks to experience the adventures that we offer. A lot of kids made it through their first week of camp, their first week away from home, and have learned confidence and self-reliance, and realize that they can do a lot of things on their own, which is part of what any summer camp experience offers a young person. So
Yeah.
very successful summer in our eyes.
Yeah. How many kids do you have at the camp?
So at the camp, I have to, so over 2,500 people, included some adult volunteer leadership,
Sure.
parents. I have to give you the breakdown at a later date on that, but we
Sure.
had an increase of camp attendance from last year to this year in those same comparative numbers. We serve roughly about 7,200 youth in the Mid-America Council as of year end.
Yeah. Yeah, just I want to talk a little bit. Let's just talk a little bit about, yeah, who do you serve and what's your mission?
So our mission, paraphrased, is to instill values into young people that will last a lifetime. And it's very
Yeah.
intentional. That mission's been written that way for more than 113 years at this point. But we serve young people, boys and girls, starting at kindergarten in a program called Lion Cubs. Parents are deeply involved in that program. It's once a month. They get together and they do an activity. When I was a kid in kindergarten, going to the fire station or the police station and getting to learn about what our community servants do for us was a really big deal. So that's part of what that program is about. And then as our young people get older, the program progresses. Parents aren't as involved, but they're still involved.
Yeah.
Then by the time you get to our Scouts BSA program, which starts at 11 and goes through 18, that's really where scouting as a community comes together to help raise the child. And
Yeah.
you've got a great group of volunteers that are helping instill character and values in young people and leadership. That's a really big thing that
Yes.
we do is we teach leadership on a daily basis to young folks, help them make decisions that maybe not have been the right ones to begin with, but help them coach and put them right back into the scouting game, and not give them a time out to sit and think about it. We are a safe place for young people to fail and learn and get right back in the game. So it's why I love what we do.
Yeah, I can tell. Yeah, very
Take a kid
passionate.
that goes to camp on Sunday, and
Yeah.
you can physically see the change.
Hmm.
They stand, the way that they present themselves on Saturday when they get ready to go home.
Yeah.
From
Wow.
being involved in the scout programs, whether they've used a pocket knife for the first time to carve a bar of soap, or they have learned to swim in a week of summer camp in our aquatics program, or they've gone off the 50-foot tower and overcome a fear of heights. All of that helps build a young person into a leader for tomorrow.
Yeah. I love it. And like you said, when they come on Saturday and then or Sunday and they leave that, a week later, that you can physically see, um, you can just physically see the confidence that that they've changed. They're a different human when they leave. Yeah.
They most certainly are. And the biggest change that I've ever seen in young people is when we send them on a high adventure. This summer, I got to take 8 girls and 3 other adults, and we went to and we spent a week on a 50-foot sailboat in the
Wow.
Keys. And the confidence that just those 8 scouts got during that week of sailing a boat that size, fixing meals for all of us that were on board, working through conflict, overcoming fear, sleeping on the deck where they were amongst the stars every night. And you get them home, and mom says, "This isn't the same kid that I sent with you." It's because of the experience that they got to have that scouting gave them.
Yeah. I actually just like got chills, tingling chills all over my body because it's so amazing. Well, let's talk a little bit about fall recruitment because it's like around the
It's not.
corner or here or
Yes, school starts here in a couple weeks. Families are making choices about what activities to put their children in. And a lot of times families say, we don't want to get too overcommitted, which I totally respect since I have 3 children. But scouting fits into everyone's schedule if they will allow it. There will be scheduled football games and fall baseball. You've got practices, but scouting is really driven at the younger age, in the elementary school age, by parents. So the advancement that happens, yes, there will be a meeting a month and a couple of den meetings, but typically those are flexible to when the most folks can meet. So I'm encouraging families, give scouting a try this fall. Even amongst all the busy schedules you've got, do something with your kid where you can be on the field of play with them this fall, not only learning a game and life skills, which we teach in Cub Scouting and our Scouts BSA program, but you're helping coach them along in life by helping teach them some of these things. So your kid's going to get a flyer that comes home in the Friday take home folder or in your electronic newsletter from your school, depending on how it goes. There'll be yard signs out in front of every elementary school. There'll be volunteers at open house nights. We'll have a special night for just scouting to go back and sign up and get involved. Take a chance. Come and check out what scouting has to offer. I can guarantee you, after being in this scouting program for 39 years in August,
Wow.
scouting is not the same in 2023 as it was in the 1980s and 90s.
Right.
It's a different program. It's a safe program, and it's a place for all kids to belong.
Yeah. 39 years. Wow.
I'm starting to show my age a little bit, aren't I?
Well, and I just want to talk to you about that briefly. So 39 years ago, where were you? I mean, what was your entry into?
So I was a Cub Scout in Knoxville, Tennessee at Bluegrass Elementary School.
Okay.
Was the first Cub Scout pack that I joined, and my mom was an assistant den leader. And after school, this is how much it's changed. After school, I would ride my bike to the den leader's house with 7 other kids, one of them being her own son. And my mom would show up, and we would have a once a week Cub Scout adventure that we would do together. And then once a month, we would have this big meeting called a pack meeting where we'd have awards or we'd do something bigger as a group. And it was a great way for my mom and I to connect at the time. Because she was a stay-at-home mom while my dad worked. Just a sacrifice my family decided to make. And it brought us closer. And my dad got to join us on all those weekend activities. My little brother and my little sister sometimes tagged along, but had so much fun that my dad was an assistant scoutmaster for a while when we lived in Montgomery, Alabama. And then my brother joined, and we both end up as Eagle Scouts. We're camp staff, and I got recruited to come work for the Boy Scouts 23 years ago, and have enjoyed every single day.
Yeah, that's well, that's amazing. And I always kind of love to hear the journey that people take, especially when, here you are, CEO, Omaha, Nebraska, the Mid-America Council, and kind of see how you got here. So, and your passion.
It's been an awesome journey, not just for me, but for my wife and my 3 girls.
Yeah. Yeah.
A true blessing.
Well, before I let you go, let's talk about, the upcoming BSA Big Give Luncheon event. We're looking at December, right?
That December 6th, every nonprofit has a big gala lunch or a dinner or something where they raise dollars. What this event is, this is a fundraising or an awareness event as well. We don't typically charge for tables, but we would like to pack CHI with 1,000+ people in the room that day.
Yeah.
that may have a scouting story that they haven't told before. Being part of a Cub Scout many years ago, or that dad that got to be a Life Scout and really wishes he'd been pushed for those last 2 merit badges. So December 6th, Clayton Anderson from the Strategic Air and Space Command is going to be our keynote speaker. And we've also got Beth and David Kramer, who are going to be our chairs for this event.
Okay.
We raised more than $500,000 that day, and we do so from individuals that have a passion for scouting, that here we're going to have 3 or 4 great scouting stories.
Yeah.
And know what the impact of scouting is on our community. And then there's an opportunity to support the Mid-America Council and continue the mission here locally.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a pretty darn incredible event. And again, like you say, just come, but filling that room with 1,000 people, but you're raising funds, you're raising funds and raising awareness, but it really is a celebration.
Absolutely. There are so many good things that scouting is doing in our community every single day.
Yeah.
And for us to tell a couple of stories and for people to see the impact and to know that we share a common goal to make sure that We're helping develop young people to be the best leaders they can be for tomorrow using the scouting program. It kind of binds us all together in the scouting community. And we're able to support it with our time, talents, and treasures.
Yeah. Well, it's so great to chat with you today. I kind of love these, mid-year catch-ups and kind of finding out what's going on, what has gone on, and then what you're looking ahead to the fall and the end of the year, Chris. So thank you so much.
Andy, thanks for your time today. Love checking in with you mid-year as well. I look forward to seeing you at Big Gives Day, December 6th.
Yep, absolutely. So thank you.